Hello there, Core's back bringing you Final Fantasy IX. Before I get started, I want to thank Dumdodoor for a fantastic piece of artwork. Check them out below. Now let's see what we can loot in the Kingdom of Alexandria. Released in 2000 and developed by Square, Final Fantasy IX was a return to form of the original 6 entries, taking place in a medieval setting and continuing the tradition of Square's turn-based strategy excellence. It was also the last game in the series to use entirely text instead of voice lines. The crew of the Tantalus plan a daring raid to kidnap the Princess of Alexandria, under the disguise of being a traveling theater. However, things do not go according to plan when the princess flees from the castle, leading members of the castle guard, the kidnappers, and even an innocent bystander to be dragged into the mix. After a daring escape, your journey begins properly with a crash landing in the evil forest. Will you survive and find why the princess wishes to be led away from her home kingdom? That is up to you to decide. So primarily the game is turn-based combat with an explorable overworld linking towns, dungeons, and environments. Each character in the party has unique abilities, equipment, types, powers, and statistics that influence how you can use them to play. As this is a classic RPG, you want the grind, you want to level everyone up equally, because you never know what party composition you're going to have for the next segments upcoming, and you wouldn't want to leave a character behind so far that they just can't catch up and you get stuck in a segment. Now let's jump into the controls. The controls are easy enough to figure out. The game provides an entire list of them, and the turn-based nature gives you time to fiddle around and figure out what the hell you're doing. Abilities and magic can be difficult to figure out though as to how they work and how you learn them, but basically you have to wear equipment and grind with it until you learn the skill or ability. It's quite strange and it's really not intuitive. And I don't know if it's mentioned in the Moogle ATE event, but no one wants to watch literal walls and walls of text just to figure out how to play the game. You just want to jump in, right? Now let's go. There is a huge diversity in the monsters, almost 200 of them in total. They all have very different styles, shapes, sizes, and they're based on the environment they are found in. Ice monsters found in cold, plant monsters in the forest, and so on. A lot of really good, really interesting looking creatures each have their own unique moves and abilities too. And coupled with that, their own unique downsides, such as the plant monsters are super weak to fire. Things made of metal are super weak to electric. Now let's jump into atmosphere. The atmosphere within Final Fantasy IX is great. A medieval fantasy wonderland, complete with flying airships, advanced magic, knights, pretty princesses, cunning thieves, and tons of monsters and enemies. The world really comes alive and is a treat to explore and take in. Tons of unique elements add to the world, such as dotted villages, hidden little dungeons, just tons of things to find and interact with. So the atmosphere is honestly one of my favorite segments of this game. The music within this game, like the past and future entries, is excellent. The combat music is pumping and exciting. Exploration of the world has a pleasant, calming tone. Each region and zone has its own theme track. Every attack feels right with the swinging slash or the smash of a great sword. You got Freya plunging down from above. Every magic blast has elemental noises with it. The crackle of electricity or the raging blast of fire. The twinkling of ice. The sound design in this game is on point. It is probably one of its strongest elements, I have to say. That's pretty impressive considering there's almost no voiced elements within the game. Now let's jump into graphics, shall we? So the graphics are pretty damn nice. And into the PlayStation 1 lifespan, the CGI cutscenes are quite well done, and the game is spread out across 4 discs because of how large it is. And character models range from quite pretty to oh my god, kill it with fire! Looking at you, Queenie. A large diversity in the monster and world visuals as well. And they make great use of pre-rendered backgrounds. Almost all the backgrounds in the games are hand-painted environments. Model animations are also good and can add character to the cast due to the fact that they can't speak, so they have to have extra animated elements. Now let's discuss the downside, shall we? No voice acting outside of a few short sound effects means the game is told entirely by visuals and text. For some, this may be a turn-off if you don't like reading everything. And as the game is a turn-based action RPG, if you don't like slower-paced gameplay, then you may want to look elsewhere for your RPG fix. The game can also be awkward and hard to understand without reading the walls of text found in the Moogle ATEs, or active time events. Now let's jump into that buy rent pass, shall we? Now let's wrap up yet another review, shall we? Honestly, Final Fantasy IX for me is an excellent game, and the bridging point between the classic games and the newer games in the series. As the last Final Fantasy on the PS1, it shows off some of the best the system is capable of, and a strong start for the next entry in the series. Overall, I encountered no issues in the game, and the only things I could see people not liking is that they don't like the turn-based genre in general. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you don't mind, please leave a like, a comment about the video or the game, and possibly share it with your friends. Please remember to check out Dumdodoor, located down below. He's done an excellent job on the artwork for the video. Also, don't forget the fact that we have a Discord and a Patreon located down below. This has been Core, and I'm signing off. Have a good one.